We're here at TipTop Audio in NAMM 2015. We're happy you give us the opportunity to show you some of our new cool stuff. This year I want to concentrate and show you a little bit of our Circadian Rhythm. It's a new sequencer we came up, and the whole idea is that we want to let people be able to control their entire modular synthesizer from a center control surface that gives them the ability to make complete songs on the modular. Obviously there's so many components in the modular, and you want something to basically glue them all together, and that's what the Circadian Rhythm was designed for. So let me go with you a little bit about the features in it. So what we were thinking is like how we can take a grid of buttons and reuse those buttons without making it too complicated to understand. So we came up with an idea to split it into a vertical and a horizontal views. So if you look on the sequencer here, and I'm going to switch to the horizontal view, you can see that I can start putting notes that way. Okay, it's pretty easy. I can set the BPM. I have even a little display. It's a little overlight over here, but you can get the idea. So right now I have like an 8-step sequence running. If I switch back to vertical, I can see all my channels one by one. These are the notes. If I add a note here and I go back to the 8x8 view, I will see that note coming here as well. So I can basically add from either of the views, I can add notes. I go back to vertical, I got things like mute, I can take anything out, I can take everything on. It's really, really flexible. Now, those notes are stored in what we call a preset, and a preset is basically an 8-step sequence. So when we look at the 8 steps, we see that we have 8 channels coming out of it, and each row represents its own channel of 8 steps. Obviously, you might want to do something longer than that. So what we did is that we created the ability to loop those presets. So to show you that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the clear button. I'm just going to click the preset we're on. I'm going to go back to preset 1. And I'm going to start looping through the presets. Right now, obviously, you don't hear anything because I didn't fill up any notes. But I'm just going to do a really quick fill up of the presets. So I'm going to hold channel down. The button's going to turn red. I'm going to kick here and here. So right now I got the kick, as you can hear it. It's going through all those presets. And if I go to 1x64, I can see those kicks. If I want to add a variation, let's say on the last bar, I can just add it here in this view. And this 64 window gives me a really great view of the whole preset. 64 step, that's pretty long. I can go back here. I can keep adding more sounds. Let's drop some hats. Let's see, maybe, let's see what we got here. Like a snare drum. At any given time, I can hold the preset down. And again, maybe I want to add something here, like, okay, so I can, again, as you see, the presets are moving, we're going through them, and this is how you start building a song on this sequencer. Now, this 8 preset loop is what we call one group, and you got 8 of those groups. So you got a timeline here where you can build a whole song on. In addition to that, you can start and do things which are improvisation, more like an experimental or just a performance type of things, like fills. And this is obviously pretty handy. You can stop looping at any time, and let's say you want to have some variations. So I can go here and on this preset add some few notes, and back here, and I can switch between them manually. And obviously with the combination it feels pretty nice. Okay, so it's playable. This thing is not just a static machine, it's a machine that on one hand gives you a timeline to write your music on, but on the other it gives you the ability to make things and move things around into different areas of the song really fast and use it as a creative tool. The sequencer has the fill function, as I mentioned before, and the fill function is pretty cool because you can change the type of fill you're using. So if I click on fill again, this whole area again turns into something new, and this allows me to set what type of fill that I want to use. So I can do things like that. Okay, or I can go to like dotted notes, triplets. Okay, so that's pretty handy. Whenever I set it up, that's going to be the one that I'm going to be using. I can get away from fill and come back to editing the notes. One of probably the coolest features that we added into this one is that you can basically take this 8-step sequence and break it down into 48 notes. And that gives you sub-micro steps to here. So for example, you can do things like that, okay? Or you can do, okay, odd timing. And that's pretty cool because you can basically dial really precise swings if you want, or just like reels and like shooting notes at high speed. Gives a lot of functionality, obviously. With drums, are obviously amazing because you can put your snare before or after in a really precise manner. Going back to vertical, one thing we wanted to do, because this is the main center of the system, is that we wanted to be able to work with other sequencers you might have. So we have a clock out and a reset out, and this is going to go to your other sequencers or any device timing module. And when you turn the machine first time on, all you need to do is one time hit the reset button, and this is going to align all your sequencer on the first. So whatever you left doing to yesterday is going to be repeated today, so you can continue building your music on. Obviously, you can loop the preset, you can loop the group, you can set shorter presets looping. You don't necessarily have to do all 8, you can do just 2 if you want just 16-step sequences, or 32-step sequences. It's totally up to you. In the back, there's something called a sync bus technology. It's custom technologies for synchronization that we developed because we know that at some point you will need more channels. We wanted you to be able to connect 2 of those sequencers or even more to build a bigger sequencer, but we want them all to act as one. That's what the synchronization is doing. So when I'm going to be switching a preset here, I want it to switch on this sequencer as well. So you can see if I'm turning the looping on, you see that both sequencers are running and they are both synchronized together. So basically you can end up with a multi-channel giant sequencer, and it's all going to be in sync, all working together perfectly and harmonically. Probably the last feature I'm going to show you, because I don't want to go and spend too much of your time, is the swing button. We have swing in this machine. It's a 16th note swing or an 8th note swing, very much like the classic ones that was in the MPC machine. One thing we did add is that you can select which channels you want to swing. If you hold on the swing button, you can select or deselect a channel, take it in or take it out. Obviously, sometimes you don't want it to be on the bass drum, or you want it on another channel. And one last thing to show you is that you might think that this is just a drum sequencer. Well, it's anything but, because you can do not just triggering, you can make gates. If you are making a bass line, for example, you can throw through trigger, but you can at the same time, let me just stop preset looping, you can at the same time, holding 2 buttons down, create long gates. So you can have triggers and gates at the same time. This is obviously great for sustaining envelopes. It sounds fantastic when you start putting it all together. Also, what I want to show you this year is our surge modules. These are going to be in this case. Maybe the camera can focus on us. Okay, so we are collaborating with Surge to remake Surge modules into Eurorack. This has been an ongoing project, and it took a while because we wanted the thing to really sound like a Surge, look like a Surge, and feel like a Surge. And that takes some time, so I know a lot of you guys are waiting for this, but it's coming. One of the things was to create something that will give us the color coding of the Surge system. So we create something, some people think it's a banana, but that's actually like a jack right here. Surge modules are 4U high. We have shrunk that a little bit down to a 3U standard Eurorack. They are a little wider, but all the functionality is in there, and actually even more. We did add features where we could, again, without changing the circuit, just maybe adding a little bit to it. And we're very excited for this one. Another thing I want to show you is our new case. That's the case that we are releasing now. We hope to get it made and finished to get them to the shop maybe in around 2 months. This is a special case that we made from a molded plastic. It's really durable, it's very light, and it's going to be the next step for anybody who owns a happy ending kit or looking to get a system together. Obviously, many people are asking us for complete systems, and that's something that's going to happen this year. We're going to offer this case, fill up with TipTop modules so you can get the whole experience we are delivering. This case is really nice. It got some features in the back, like a stand where it can be set in different positions or totally flat on the table. Comes fully equipped with a power supply, and we hope to be able to give it to you guys in a pretty attractive price. We have one more thing this year, which just arrived to us. There's a new Valhalla card. Anybody who knows the halls of Valhalla from last year knows what a great reverb sound like on the modular. Sean Costello from Valhalla DSP has surprised us once again and sent us a new card right here for the ZDSP. We're really looking forward to check it out. We were just trying it for a couple of hours here at the show, and well, already blown away by the sound. So this is fascinating stuff.